Hey guys, this is going to be a video of the first cutting of the year with the Swisher pull behind rough cut mower. This is over Memorial Day weekend, and this is in a horse pasture that I've been mowing twice a year for the property owner. As you're going to see, the pasture is not very high. There's some different places where it is a little bit higher, where it's probably about 8 to 10 inches high, but most of it's probably only about 5 or 6 inches from the horse. What you'll see, since it isn't very high, is most of this I can go pretty fast. This first part, which is the top, is very flat. It's fairly smooth. It's not too rough. But I have a little bit of video when I go down over the hill, and that's a much bumpier terrain where I'm definitely glad to be on a quad with good shocks and everything like that. If you haven't seen my videos from last year, I think I had 3 different videos on this mower. This mower was new to me last year. I believe the mower is about 13 years old. This is a 44-inch Swisher Rough Cut Mower. It has a 12.5 horsepower. So this was a mower that I picked up used online for fairly cheap. Throughout last year, there was a few things I did. I replaced the main bearing for the mower blade. Now that repair was very easy to do. There is a YouTube video or 2 out there showing how to do that, but it's very straightforward. The last mowing that I did last year, I did end up running the control module over for the PTO, which was totally my fault. So I was able to order that replacement module and a new PTO cable, and now I just have it secured straight to the tongue of the mower, which is where it originally was. I had moved it for probably the last 2 or 3 times I cut with it last year onto the quad, but the cable was a little short, so I had it on a 2x4, which is part of the reason that it came off. That repair was pretty straightforward as well. These machines are really easy to work on. I think there's 6 bolts that hold the motor on, and another 6 bolts to take the plate off to access the back of the blade pulley. So very easy to work on. The other thing that I ended up doing, which might be more of a temporary solution, I don't know how much I like it right now, but I did replace both the wheels and the rims. The original wheels and rims that were on there were the wheels themselves were badly dry rotted, and the rims were also getting pretty rough to the point where I did find air leaks in the rim itself. What I ended up doing was just getting some replacement rims and tires from Tractor Supply. It was a pretty close fit. I ended up using some washers for spacers. So I'm not sure how permanent that'll be or if that's just a temporary solution, but it seemed to work pretty good for today. So what I'm doing right now is I've kind of sectioned off part of the top of the field. I did several passes around the outer perimeter, kind of like doing headlands on a tractor, and I find it easier to kind of do that first, and then just like a tractor, kind of section it off and just kind of do U-turns. My quad doesn't have power steering, so it is a little bit tiring to turn at such a low speed, especially if you are in 4-wheel drive, which most of this I'm all in 2-wheel. But yeah, this is about maybe a quarter of the entire pasture that I'm doing right now. There are a few places that I did kind of zigzag back over, some of the higher places. And what does happen with these, since the wheels are out a little bit, between the quad and the wheels for the mower, it will kind of fold down some of the higher grass, and it'll cause you to kind of miss some places, which isn't really a big deal at all, but just to try to make it look better, I usually do end up zigzagging around, which I'll be doing here in a moment. All in all, though, I would say, it does cut pretty good. It's not quite finished mower quality, but it's not really what the machine's meant for. Got the top part done. Now for the fun part. Down the bottom end of this pasture. Looks like we got a few trees that fell. Can't really see down there, but it's pretty big. So it's a little bit hard to tell in the video, but the hill going down to the bottom of the pasture is fairly steep. It's pretty rutted up. It has a lot of rocks and other debris and stuff like that. It's definitely a good place to have a rough cut mower with a stump jumper. I didn't film everything when I was doing this. I didn't really plan ahead, so all I had was my phone, and as you can probably see throughout the video, it's pretty hard to keep it from being super shaky. As I mentioned earlier too, my quad doesn't have power steering, so it was also a little bit hard trying to film this one-handed through some of these areas with all the potholes and everything. The mower itself does pretty good though, especially with it being a little bit of a rough terrain. The main downside is just the turning radius. If this were some kind of tractor with a woods mower on it, which I actually do have one of those as well, you know, you're able to get a lot closer and tighter. So this thing does pretty well, but it does have a couple flaws compared to, you know, mowing with a tractor. That's about it for this video though. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment bar. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you come again for future content. Thanks.